got time on us.
Hello, good morning. It's me, back 2 weeks as promised. Welcome to you all. If you're new, and we've had some new subscribers, loads in fact. She's lovely. Thank you, and you're so very welcome. By subscribing, you reserve a chair, your favourite chair of course, at the table. You ensure that your biscuits are always in the tin and that your favourite mug is always ready and waiting for you in the cupboard. So do come on in, grab yourself a drink, kick off your shoes, pop on your slippers, and we'll cosy up. Got Jeff with me, of course, always. Doesn't go very many places without me, and when he does, he's never happy about it. We like to be together, don't we, darling? How are you? Have you had a good couple of weeks since we last spoke? I've had the loveliest couple of weeks. Yeah, it's been really nice. We've been out. I'll tell you about that in a bit, but we've had some really nice customers and visitors to the shop. It started not long after it might have been last time I podcast 2 weeks ago. Two lovely ladies came in and they were up here on holiday from Southampton, older ladies, and we chatted for a few minutes, and they were knitters and they crochet and they craft in general, and then they popped off for lunch and said that, you know, we'd catch up again before they went home. And I think I saw them maybe 5 or 6 times over the 10 days they were here. Oh my goodness, and the depth and breadth of knowledge those ladies had. I spoke to a lady called Katie more often. She used to come down on her own sometimes if a friend was having a nap. And yeah, she was telling me that I think she's 89 and her friend's 90. And in the war, they knit socks for the soldiers. And they were taught at school, and they were 7 years old knitting socks for the soldiers in wars. How amazing is that? And she still knits them now, not as frequently, but yeah, she still enjoys knitting socks. And she saw just on the wall to my right here, we've got some sample socks that have been made on the sock machine. So of course it's like a short row heel, and she was horrified at that because the heel should be reinforced with slip stitches. But it's such good fun. And then yeah, she's always crafted since, and now she's retired and widowed. She's obviously got a lot more time to herself. And I'd mentioned that I was starting to enjoy quilting, and she too had picked it up in lockdown. And since lockdown, she's made 11 quilt tops. 11. Doesn't quilt them herself. She sends them off to get them, you know, machine quilted. 11. She's very much into K facet fabrics. You know, those really bright jewel tone colours. Amazing. And then in her career, she ended up. She worked for a fashion house in London, hand painting silk scarves. Just amazing. Such a lovely couple of ladies to speak to and talk about, I try here to encourage that. Just have a go, you know, let's just have a go and see where we get on. I mean, talk about just have a go. At 90 in lockdown, decided to have a go at quilting and loves it. And she's making one now for each of her grandchildren, you know, as a sort of legacy. Amazing. So fabulous. So I had a few days where Katie and a friend would pop in and we'd have a chat, and which was lovely. Then who else did I meet last week? Claire was up on holiday. There's another lady, Alison, I think. Alison. been several visitors this week that have been up specifically on holiday. Oh, Karen came, but sadly I missed Karen. I was up in the dye studio and Megan didn't realise Karen was somebody who I chatted to online, and yeah, I missed her, which I was gutted about. Yeah, I've had a really good week, couple of weeks. And then yesterday, Meg and I went out for the day to a place called Bildwars Abbey, not very far from us, about 15 minutes in the car, if that. We've never been before. Oh, it was lovely, really nice day out. We went purposely to film it there. Yeah, it was great. We've started a Patreon channel. I hesitate to talk. I want to talk about it with you because it's something I'm really proud of, and it's something that's taking quite a lot of my creative energy at the moment. But I've never wanted my podcast to be a sales pitch or one giant infomercial. It genuinely is just sitting around the table with my friends, chatting about our knitting and our crafting. And but if we were all sat together, literally, then I would naturally talk about this, because it is something that's yeah, taking a lot of time at the moment, and something that I'm super proud of. So we've wanted to do Patreon for a long time, but we were purposely waiting until we had time to commit to it, logistics to commit to it, and you know, just all the things that go with it, because it is something that we want to put our all into. Two of the rewards on our Patreon channel include yarn. So we needed to make sure that that was something that we could fit into our work schedule. So now we've moved studio, that's not a problem at all. So there are video-based content, which is say what we were filming at the Abbey yesterday. And yeah, one of them includes mini skeins, and then the top tier you get both mini skeins and a sock set of yarn. And for the sock set, we're going to take you along with us for a walk or a day out or a visit somewhere, and we'll film that visit, show you the inspiration from where the colour came from, and then show you the whole dyeing of that colourway as well. So yeah, it's quite an involved Patreon platform, I think. In no means comparing it to anybody else, but just for us it's quite an involved process. So yeah, we needed to make sure we had the time to commit to that. So yes, it's really exciting. I've got a new camera being delivered today. But when we was out yesterday, it was really funny. I put some clips in. Megan was helping me, and she was on her hands and knees filming this beautiful tiled floor, an original tiled floor that hasn't, you know, there's no damage to it at all. It's magnificent. And I wonder whether, because the Moores Craft Centre where we are here was all part of the tile industry, and the Moores brothers were the first to develop a decorative tile. So I do wonder whether the tiles there came from the Moores. It's just amazing, the connection. It's just really, really inspiring. I must research it a bit more and see if I can find where the tiles came from. So yeah, Megan was on her hands and knees filming, and I, of course, as Shropshire's premier vlogger, insisted on having my lighting right and my big sound recorder. And of course, somebody from my entourage had to come on and powder my nose and adjust my hair to each scene. If you believe that for 1 minute, that Megan would do. It was only me, Meg and Jeff. So yeah, so I have, and do you know, the other thing Meg and I were saying, we've lived where we live now for, it'll be 2 years September, but of course sort of 18 months of that was spent during the pandemic, so we haven't explored the local area at all really, other than walks with Jeff. We haven't done any of the go out and visit places. Megan's had her vaccine now, so the other good thing about Patreon is that it's forcing us is the wrong word, but it's given us a reason to go to places and to go and explore. And like, we're going to go to Ludlow Castle, we're going to David Austin Rose's, Emma Bridgewater. So it's just forcing us to go to these places because it's part of our work schedule. I say work because it doesn't feel like work, but you know, when people are paying for a subscription, there's an expectation, isn't there? Oh darling. So I'll pop some clips in here now of Buildwas Abbey, and then you can see it was lovely, a really lovely day. So I'll pop a couple of quick, put my teeth in. I'll pop a couple of clips then there for you, and then we'll come back and have a chat about some of our crafting. I'll pop Jeff down. Oh, sweet boy, isn't he? People never believe me when I say he cuddles until they see him in the shop here, and he truly does cuddle you. Honestly, you couldn't pay for therapy as good as this. Good day, darling. Oh. Let's put you down while you have a look at a few clips from the Abbey, and then we'll come back and chat craft.
I want you to know that every time you're away, I long for you so much I can find my way. And I saw you walking the line, and the truth may come as a surprise. Now with you I feel alive. You'll be the last one I think about. When it all breaks down, I'll wait for you right here. And I swear that we got nothing to fear. It's a miracle that you and I are finally here.
Do you like it? It's a really, really special place. It's so peaceful. There was nobody else there at all, and there were swifts building nests within the Abbey, and we just sat for ages watching them. It was lovely. Anyway, let's talk about some of our crafting. A lot of my creative time this week has been spent faffing. Did you see the little intro card? And you'll see one at the end. So I've been spending time doing some things like that, but they do take a bit of time for me because I'm not that savvy with technology. But I did manage to finish the cowl. Do you remember we talked about this last time, and you had to hold me accountable to get those 10 rows done? I went home, oh, it smells lovely. I blocked it in Eucalan. I went home last Wednesday after I filmed the podcast, and I finished the 10 rows that night. I think I did 8 and then finished it off and bound it off the next night, but honestly it was crazy. So I finished it. That's the Blurry cowl by Joji Localtelli, and in the colours Forager and Warm and Toasty. It's a DK weight cowl. It's for my mum for Christmas. Now when I do this type of cast on, and you knit a couple of stitches at the beginning, it's always quite tight. There's never much giving it. You can see there's really no move in those stitches at all. So I was a bit worried about the fit and being able to get it on. But actually I think think it is a bit snug on the neck, but actually in winter, when you're wearing this, you know, under a coat, sort it out. When you're wearing this under a coat, I want that snugged up under. I don't want that baggy around my neck. I want it nice and cosy. See, there's no wind going to get in there, is there? And with your big cosy coat on. So yeah, I really like it. Now, given that it's taken me not a year, but a blooming long time to finish it, I'm reluctant to say I want to make another one, but I really do. I want to make one for me. I really like it. I think Mum will love it. Well, no, she will, because it's just it's Mum's sort of knitwear. Unlike a shawl, you don't have to faff around with cowls, do you? You can just slip them on and they're done. So yeah, I finished it. So thank you for holding me accountable. And in the comments, a few of you said I wasn't allowed to cast on my hat until I'd finished it. But I was very smug because at that point I'd already finished it and already cast on my hat. So speaking of which, I did cast on the Simple Pleasures hat that we talked about last time. I haven't got very far, but I'm enjoying it. So this is in a pretty little bag. Homebird Makes. A friend gave me that for, I think it was my birthday. It's lovely. Yes, I'm making it in the Ballard's Bella colourway, which is like a grey and blue, little sort of terracotta clay. And that's how far I've got. I'm sure you've all seen the Simple Pleasures hat by now. Ollie and Bella podcast, Cherie, lovely Cherie. She's running a knit along for it, or has been. I don't know if it's still going. I'm not sure, but loads of people have knit these hats, and you do, I can't remember the details, but you do a vast amount of 2x2 ribbon, and then you fold that probably about twice as, you know, same again, then that's folded. You knit it with 2 strands of 4-ply held together, and then once you've finished the cuff, you drop one of the strands of 4-ply and add in a mohair. So I've got the mohair the same colour. And then you knit them one mohair, one 4-ply for, you know, the main body of the hat. It's lovely. There's loads on Instagram if you look at the hashtag Simple Pleasures hat. It's a free pattern by Pearl Soho. Yeah, recommend it. I've just been doing this, I've talked about before, you know, sort of a kitchen table project when you're cooking dinner, or, you know, those few minutes where you're just waiting for the washing machine to finish before you go and peg your laundry out. Yeah, I've just been doing a couple of rows then, or not even a row sometimes, just a few. Look, I'm halfway through a row now, just a few stitches. Yeah, I'm really enjoying that. I do love knitting hats. It won't be too long before we're into hat season either, will it? Heading into July next week, or this week rather. What else have we been working on? Oh, this is a nice project I've started since we last spoke, but I need a bit of help from you all, please. I decided to make, Megan and I are making one another advent calendars for Christmas this year. So I decided to make Megan a pair of, I love this bag, a pair of DK socks for the first day of Advent. And then it just, I hear people going past. Yeah, just a DK pair of comfy socks to pop on with her pyjamas and wear, you know, in the evening through Advent. So I thought I'll do them in bright red like Christmas red. So that's what we've done, true Christmas red. and I did toe up. Jooles, So Sweet Violet, very kindly gave me the numbers from an upcoming DK pattern that she's got coming out. I wanted to do them toe up specifically because I wanted to make the cuff of the sock in this boucle yarn. Oh, isn't it amazing? This boucle. It's all right, Jeff. Jeff, it's okay, darling. It's okay. Might have to pause in a minute. There's another dog outside and Jeff will inevitably say hello to him. So yes, I wanted a bright red Christmas sock with the cuff in this boucle. I thought that would be so cool. And I've done it. I've just about to bind up. Well, this is where I need your help. So anyway, here's the sock. I've knit it on a 3.5mm needle. I've just done a very simple toe up sock. But then look at the cuff. So my plan, I did a purl row there when I joined two yarns together. I quite like having that little bit of red on the white showing. But my plan was to knit, I don't know, 15 rounds of 2x2 red in the boucle, do a purl row, and then knit 17 rounds of 2x2 rib, fold that over, and it would cover this join. So the finished sock would be like that. Do you see? I thought that'd be really cute. I do think it's going to be really cute. But what I've found is, you can see there, look, the boucle's just got no structure to it, I guess. So when I popped it on my foot to try on, it's massive, it's huge. The sock's fine, but the boucle, you can see it's just flaring out, it's huge. So I've done 2x2 rib, but it's obviously not got that same suck in. So I don't know whether to do a tight bind off now and have that as a finished sock, which I still think is really cute. If I do a tight bind off, that'll hold it on the leg. I mean, these are only like house socks, you know, just to wear with comfy loungewear in the evening, so I don't need to be too fussy, but I still want it to, you know, fit well. Or I don't know whether to rip out the boucle, go down a couple of needle sizes, even to you know, like a 2.75 or something. Hang on, I think somebody wants to come in the shop. Hang on. Sorry about that. Somebody wanted to come in the shop. So yeah, I don't know whether to go down to a 2.75 and carry on with the folded boucle top like I thought, or just to do a tight bind off now and have it like that. What do you think? Have you ever had any experience of this? I'd love to know your thoughts if you'd care to comment down below. I'm inclined, I think, to knit this on a 2.75 because it is a DK, would be really hard on my hands. So I'm inclined to do a tight bind off. If that doesn't work out, I can just rip it out and go back to the original plan. I think that's what I might do. I do like it though, it's really cute. And wouldn't this be so cute if we did it on big chunky needles with chunky yarn or an Aran yarn and made a stocking, a proper Christmas stocking. Oh, with a loop there. I'm really tempted. Really tempted. But I think Meg will love them to cozy up. I'm going to do some kits for this in the shop actually for next. Our next shop update's the 10th of 9th of July, I think. couple of weeks. I'm going to put some kits for this in the shop. Some DK with like 20 grams of the boot clay and some 4-ply with some blue clay as well. You can just see how it's flaring out there. It's just too big. So yeah, I either need to go down a needle. I think that's the answer. It's the trouble with trying to record on a work day because I should be open really, but hey ho, they have to wait. So I'm having a chat with my friends. So yeah, let me know in the comments below if you've got any advice as to what you would do with this. I'd love to hear. It's been a lovely project, and DK weight socks just fly up, don't they? They're knit so quickly. I hadn't started, I know that's 2 weeks ago, I hadn't started last time we spoke. I haven't knit on this for, well, this week at least. I haven't knit on it for a week. But again, speed isn't my goal. Speed isn't my goal, other than there's quite a lot of things I want to make for Christmas, for presents. So there's a time element in that sense, but not in terms of wanting to be a fast knitter. Oh, I have made this. Made a little dishcloth. Again, I'm just making a little stack of these for my mother-in-law for Christmas. So yeah, just started with a red one. Well, either my mother-in-law or both, or I might make a little stack again for in Megan's Advent, just as face cloths, not makeup remover type cloths. She's got a couple. Because you've got a textured side there, this is the Wondrous Dishcloth pattern by, again, my lovely friend Jooles. Because you've got that textured side, it's almost like exfoliating. So they do make really good face cloths. So yeah, I might make Meg a few of these for one of the days in her advent calendar. Yeah, just 1 or 2. So yeah. Oh, speaking, I may as well, no, I'll finish talking about knitting first. Now, much like the cowl, I was tidying up the other day. I had a day off, and I stripped my bookcase in the front room to wax the wood. It's oak, so twice a year I give it a good clean, and then I re-wax it and seal the wood again. So that was this weekend's job, last weekend's job, sorry. And I've got a peach. Oh, why did I say peach? A sheep. Not much difference between a peach and a sheep. A sheep bucket. I've shown it on here before, and it just had in, well, I didn't know what was in it, just stuff that needed sorting. Well, it transpires that that bucket was the bucket I took on holiday last July. We went July 4th last year down to Cornwall, and that bucket housed my knitting. And I took magpie hats with me. That was when I was going through my phase of knitting magpie hats. So the bucket had some leftover bits of mohair in there and a few odds and ends. So I was really just clearing out this stuff. Anyhow, I found this sock. Now I'd got no idea. I can't even remember knitting this sock. It's lovely. It's the Impossible Girl pattern. I love this yarn. This base is mohair, merino and nylon. Oh, and I love it. So strong for socks. So strong. Because mohair's a strong fibre. And then you've got nylon. It's not, you get slight halo from the mohair, but not like using the mohair silk. It's very different, but I love it. So I found this in there, and then I found this. Honestly, I had no idea where this came from, when I'd start. I just didn't recall at all. So I looked back on Instagram, and that's when I realised then that this was I was knitting this in Cornwall last year. So I'm about 3 repeats off the heel, honestly. 3 repeats off the heel, and I've just put it away. That was last July. Why would I do that? Because I haven't gone wrong. I was looking, I thought maybe I'd messed up and didn't want to rip back, but I haven't. I haven't gone wrong. It's on my favourite needles. I love the yarn, I love the colour. I just don't know why I would have put it away. Obviously just got distracted with something else. So here we go again. 2 weeks later, I'm going to say to you, do not let me just bury this sock project away. Because look, I'm not far. I'm 3 repeats off the heel, a heel turn, a foot and a toe. I've got lovely new socks. So I'm not going to let myself get carried away. Do you do this? I can't be the only one. I think, you know, I am by nature a single project person. I think my personality type and the way I work is to start a project, finish a project. And then over time, particularly when I started dyeing yarn, because I was always, in the early days of dyeing yarn, before I sold anything, I would knit with it because I was a new dyer, and you know, you want to know what you're making is perfect to sell. So I used to cast on everything. And then over time, I mean, that's just not possible now, of course, you know, it's just not possible. And I don't feel it necessary now because I'm more than confident in the technique that Nick and I use in our practice of being yarn dyers. You know, we've got that experience now. So at that time then, I used to have multiple projects on the go, and it still doesn't particularly sit comfortable with me. I don't mind having like a jumper, a shawl, a pair of socks sort of thing. I would love to be like Sarah from Love Sock. Is it Love Sockwall, Sarah? Oh, I'd love to be like that. I bet she's got 30 pairs of socks on the go. Oh. I think it's amazing. Amazing. When I used to watch Danny from Little Bobbins, she used to always have so many different socks, and it's fabulous. I love it. And I really want to be like that. But when I try to be like that, particularly now with podcasting and wanting to show different things, I don't know, it doesn't really fit my personality type. I wouldn't say it bothers me, but it kind of does, you know. I think I need to have an evaluation of what I've actually got on the needles, because I know I've got at least 4 single socks done and no pairs, which is okay, because when I finish them all off, I'll enjoy doing that second sock the same as I enjoyed doing that first sock. But at the same time, I'm itching to make some new scrappy socks. I want to do a grey sock, probably in the yak, the grey yak there, because I love that colour, with real pops of bright colours just striped through. I'm itching to do that. And then I've got the new Rainbow Chronicles here sat in front of me, and they're calling to me. I'm going to be making, I'll show you that in a second, don't jump ahead. So yeah, so I'm going to get these finished, because that's crazy. A year been sat in a sheep bucket on my bookcase. Crazy. But I'm sure I'm not alone. I'm sure I'm not alone. The only other thing I've been making, well, it's 2 things creatively this last fortnight, is Megan's quilt for Christmas. I haven't brought all that I have here. I've just brought a strip to show you. So I'm making an Irish chain piece quilt. In this is the pattern. So it's a 9 block and then a plain, a 9 block and a plain. And the fabrics I'm using are all cotton. These have all come from shirts. My good friend Gaynor, Tales from Cuckoo Land, kindly sent me some of Toby's worn shirts. You know, if the collar had gone or the cuff had worn, but the fabric is amazing. It's so soft because it's been washed and worn. It's lovely. So yeah, I think I've got in total 50 of these blocks to make, and I've made so far about 30. So I'm getting there, but I thought I'd just strip a piece together this week so I could pop it on her bed and see. So I'm doing it double bed size. So again, I really enjoy the slow stitching and the process of it, but given that it is, my aim is to do it for Christmas. Plus I want to make one for my mum. Not this big, but like the one I made for my dad. There is a time pressure on it to some extent. I love it. I'm really enjoying it. I haven't worked on it since that's the other thing. I only get to work on it on a Tuesday, which is the day off I have without Nick and Megan. So I'm limited to the amount of time I get to do it. And my plan again was to hand quilt it and do binding by hand. We'll just have to see time-wise. The only good thing is Megan's birthday's in May, and she's 21 next year. Actually, it might be worth. Yeah, she's 21 next year. So this might be a nice thing to make for her 21st birthday, mightn't it? As a you know, a special. Actually, I think I'm going to do that. I'll keep working on it now, but I think to do it for her 21st might be something quite special. Yeah, I am. I'm going to do that. So that's, yeah, that would be really nice, won't it? And then I can do it on the back. I can do a hand embroidered message and pop on it, you know, happy 21st birthday. I think that would be lovely. Yeah, I think that'd be really nice. And she's going to have all the homemade things for her in her advent and things this year. I've got a jumper on the go for her. I'll show you that next week, actually. So yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. That can be next. That can be her birthday. Plus then I've got quite a nice break planned over the Christmas and New Year period. So this could be something I worked on during that time again. So there's no pressure. I've had, just have a slurp of my drink. I've been utterly spoiled this last week. I had a visit from Karen, came to the shop. And when she came that day, she so very kindly brought me a present, which totally unexpected. And on that same day, I also had 2 pieces of Happy Mail in the post. One was correctly addressed to the Mayoress of Squirrel Village. I do giggle because honestly, I can't even imagine what our postman thinks with the way things come. And then let me show you that one first because it's just here. No, wait, I'll show you that last because that involves you. So the first present I opened was this amazing bag from a lovely friend on Instagram and here, Susan. Oh, I love it. Susan hasn't been knitting the Rainbow Chronicles herself, but she's enjoyed watching everybody else, and she just wanted to send me a bag to thank me for spreading the world with rainbow. Makes me want to cry every time. Honestly, I'm getting all silly. Let's have a drink. Do you know, you guys, you show me such kindness and friendship, and yeah, it's beautiful. All the comments on last time's video and always, it's just, yeah, it's humbling. It's really humbling. And when somebody wants to send you a present in the post all the way from America just because, yeah, I find that just beautiful. So thank you Susan. I love it. It's got umbrellas one side and rainbows on the other. It's huge, isn't it? And the fabric inside, you won't be able to tell, but it's cross-stitched with, maybe you can just see there, but you can't really tell. It's cross-stitched with words like needle and sewing and piece and fabric, thimble, trim, stitch, cotton, quilt. It's just beautiful. So that, I opened that present, then that set me off. And then Megan said, oh, the lady that came to see you, who I've found out since is Karen, she'd left me a present. Oh, look, and these beautiful notes. That one's from Susan. I love that. And this is from Karen, and look, she's painted it herself. She's painted the watercolour, drawn on the flowers and made the postcard. I think that's going in a frame in my bedroom because I love it. And Karen sent me, oh, the most beautiful book. The most beautiful book. It's all about vintage, telling a story through cloth and thread. And it's just, honestly, it's beautiful. Just the pictures. It's a real coffee table book and so inspirational. All patchwork and quilting. Oh, it's just lovely. Ooh. I've had so much pleasure going through this, and again, so inspired. Stunning. And then in the bag, in the package, was a lovely notebook, which is lovely. Some beautiful fabrics. Again, just my colours, real autumn. Beautiful. And then this. Oh, I love lavender. I love lavender. Beautiful. Thank you, Karen. I'm so sorry I missed you. I've told Megan if that ever happens again and I'm not here, you must come and get me. Because I love to see you all. And then the last present I opened, this is all on the same day as well. All on the same day. A lovely lady called Kathy, who I follow on Instagram. Oh, she's an extraordinary maker. She knits, cross stitches, quilts, does English paper piecing, she does crochet. Oh, she does it all, and also beautifully and perfectly. And I'd seen on her Instagram feed a picture she was making some little English paper piece hexagons, and it was lovely. All in, well, I don't know if they're all Liberty fabrics, but there's certainly some Liberty fabrics. And yeah, she sent it to me. Again, it made me cry. Yes, look at this. It's this beautiful, beautiful pouch. Some little felt pieces for, look at that, it's so pretty. Pockets. I mean, it's just exquisite, isn't it? Absolutely exquisite. That's all quilted as well. I mean, again, Kathy knows I've been enjoying learning some hand embroidery and hand stitching. I just wanted to send me this pouch to keep my little bits in. Honestly, it's so overwhelming, and I'm so grateful. I don't have the words to express my gratitude. But I thought, in the spirit of giving back, I would like to make something for you. So I've started a little flower, and in the spirit of just having a go, instead of doing a hexagon like I've done for my bag, I've chosen these rounded edges. Oh, turn it the right way. I don't know what you call them, petals, and they've just got a rounded edge. I've never done that before, so that's new for me, to paper piece something with a rounded edge. Not perfect, I mean that's certainly not rounded, there's a little jagger there. But yeah, so I've made the flower, I've just got that bit to sew there. I was doing that at night last night and my needle ran out of thread, so I left it. I've made the little bits from the back for the bunting. If you haven't seen last week's episode, I made some project bags for some special friends' birthdays, and I'm going to make one for you. Yeah, I've made the little bits for the bunting. So I've just got to applique that to the fabric, and then I'm going to make a project bag for one of you. So if you'd like to be entered into the chance to win that, I'd love to make you all one, but I can't. But if you'd like it, I don't want you to say the word GIVEAWAY, because I don't want people just to come here because they might get a freebie. It's not what it's about. I want to give something to you in the same spirit that these beautiful things were given to me. So if you would like to have a chance of winning, just, you know, what can you put down below? Yeah, just tell me you need a new project bag. Yeah, don't say, you know, anything about anything else. Just say in the comments below, I need a new project bag. And anything else you want to comment. If you pop that phrase in, next time when we catch up again in 2 weeks, I'll have the bag made, I'll show it to you. I'll do a little drawer, and then there'll be a bag made by me with love, and I'll pop some yarn in as well. So that might be nice. Yeah, I'm always showing such kindness and friendship, and I love it. That's another reason why I've started the Patreon channel. It's an extension of that, you know. It's a really safe space to share more personal side of our life. So we'll be filming from the studio and our home. Nick and Megan are going to feature more. Megan likes the idea, but she's always unsure with YouTube, that because you just don't know who's watching, do you? And you can't really control that to some extent. But with Patreon, it's a very, very safe space. Very safe space. And that really appealed to us as a family. But yeah, if you do want to check that out, feel free. But I'm still going to continue to do this every fortnight. Definitely, because it means so much to me, and you all mean so much to me. And we're building a real sense of community here, and I really feel that, and I don't want that to change. But if you're not sick of me once a fortnight and you want to spend some more time with us, then maybe you'd like to join us over on Patreon. Do you want to see some yarn? The next Rainbow Chronicles is coming out next weekend, and it's purple, and the inspiration for purple was always blackberry picking and foraging for damsons and making fruit crumbles and lighting candles, and one of my favourite scents is black cherry. So this is the 20-gram bundle for the next Rainbow Chronicles. Rich purples and speckles. Oh, I love it. So my needle's itching to get this on as well, which is why I need to do an evaluation of my whips, I think. I think resistance is futile. Love it. I almost want it to smell of blackberries and fruits, and it doesn't. Of course it doesn't, but I want it to. I am silly, aren't I? And the other thing I've been working on creatively, and these are dyed by Nick, by the way. Nick dyed this set. This set I dyed, and we're having another instalment of Squiddle Village. If you follow us on Instagram, you'll know that a few months ago now I developed this fictional quintessential English village known as Squiddle. And Squiddle was the name that Nick's dad, who sadly passed away last year, used to call squirrels. And when the children were little, he would go, oh, Squiddle, Squiddle. And it was not long after Charlie's passing that I came up with this concept, and so Squiddle Village it was. And this time in Squiddle Village we're visiting the vicarage. There's a garden party in the vicarage. Yeah. So we're doing an Instagram live next weekend, and I shall tell you all about the inspiration. But our vicar's not your average vicar. She's a lady, and she makes her own clergy wear. She doesn't go in for the traditional black and white collar. She's quite a fashionable lady, you know. She's quite a trendy lady. She's not an old vicar. She's only in her 40s. Yeah, she makes her own clergy wear, and she's rather partial to a ditzy floral Liberty print. And that's where this colourway comes in. It's not really showing up very good there. This colour, it represents all the bunting around the garden, around the vicar's garden for this garden party. This one is her flower garden, her border. That's not showing up nice at all. Yeah, her garden's like an English country flower cottage garden. She's got delphiniums and lavenders and lupins and foxgloves and beautiful, beautiful flowers. And this is that colour. It's not showing up at all. No, it doesn't do it very justice there. And her favourite cake. I mean, she likes any cake, to be fair, much like myself. She'll eat any. But her favourite is a Battenberg, just like me. And that's that cake. And this one is, it's, again, they're just not showing on camera. It's a grey base with lots of vanilla cream in there as well, and then some mauve colour. And the grey and the cream represent the stone of her cottage. And the mauve is because our vicar has lots of oxalis plants on her windowsill. So when you walk past her cottage, through the windows you can see the leaves of the oxalis just fluttering like butterflies. So that's that one. I love oxalis, I've got them too, and they do literally flutter in the breeze like butterflies. So that's our new Squiddle Village collection. So again, where I might not have had much time to create and craft, I've still been very creative in a different way, coming up with narrative and colourways. And anyway, that's it for me. think I ought to go and open the shop because there's loads of people lurking outside. It's been so lovely to talk to you. Thank you so much for your company. And if you'd like to leave any comments, if you need a new project bag, don't forget that. But yeah, if you'd like to comment below, I love chatting with you and interacting with you. And again, thank you for subscribing. There's so many new people here, which is lovely. And I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Or if I don't see you before, I might see you over on Patreon. But if not, I'll see you here in a couple of weeks. Thanks everyone. Take care. Happy crafting, and I'll see you very soon. Don't forget to just have a go. Oh, before I go, a couple of people have sent me some pictures to do at the end. We figured as well it was Take Heart, Tony Hart Gallery at the end. Do you remember that show, Take Heart? So we're going to take heart, we're going to encourage each other to have a go, and we're going to celebrate those successes or failures, either or, learning curves. So a couple of people have sent me some pictures of things that they've had a go at and they're particularly proud of. So if you would like to do that at any time, please feel free. I'd love to share them, and I'll pop them on the end here, and we'll all give you a great big round of applause. Take care everyone, lots of love, and I'll see you very soon.